This sci-fi novella made us believe a machine can help us travel through time. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and in this installment of Mojo Notes, we'll be exploring 10 things you should know about H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
This is only a small experimental model, of course. To carry a man, a larger edition is needed.
To carry a man? Where?
Into the past or into the future?
Number 10. About the author. Born in 1866 in Kent, England, H.G. Wells became interested in reading after breaking his leg when he was 8. But when his father subsequently hurt his leg, Wells helped the family by working as an apprentice in diverse professions. He started writing his own material in the 1800s while studying science and teaching, and has since become known as one of the fathers of science fiction. Number 9. Influences and inspirations. It was while studying biology at the Normal School of Science that Wells wrote The Chronic Argonauts. That time travel story planted the seed for his 1895 science fiction novella, The Time Machine. It's with the very introduction of the time machine that Wells imagines a possible future for humankind. The negative spin he takes puts the tale in a literary subgenre known as Dying Earth.
I won't even bother to tell her the useless struggle of the hopeless future. But at least I can die among men!
Number 8. Settings and era. The Time Machine is set during the late 19th century, where the time traveler lived a mostly isolated existence. It also visits the communal living spaces of the Eloi and Morlocks in the year 802,701 AD. While London, England is the general location, the city technically doesn't exist in the future as it did in the past. Thanks to his time machine, we also see him go 30 million years into a dire future.
But then Mother Earth, aroused by man's violence, responded with volcanic violence of her own.
Number 7. Plot.
Became intoxicating. So I pushed the lever on toward even greater speed.
After an unnamed narrator introduces the protagonist, the time traveler takes over to recount his journey to various futures using a time machine.
When I speak of time, gentlemen, I'm referring to the fourth dimension.
If you don't mind, George, would you refresh me on the first 3 dimensions?
When he arrives in 802,701 AD, he encounters 2 species, the Eloi and the Morlocks. After befriending an Eloi named Weena, the traveler heads to Earth's bleak and unpromising future. He returns to the 19th century to warn his dinner guests about what he's seen, but then leaves again for good. Number 6. The Time Traveler. Though we're never told his real name, we do know that the time traveler is a scientist and inventor living in Richmond. While he's obviously intelligent, he's also a bit of a prankster, so his friends initially hesitate to believe in his time-traveling machine.
Now you've had your little joke, suppose you tell us what this contraption's really for.
I've already told you, Doctor.
The larger model can be used to carry a passenger on a journey through time.
He possesses scientific curiosity, which is clearly displayed when he encounters the Eloi and Morlocks, and in his desire to go further into the future after escaping. Number 5. Eloi.
So this is man's future. To bask in the sunlight, bathe in the clear streams, and eat the fruits of the earth with all knowledge of work and hardship forgotten.
The Eloi are the first of 2 species the time traveler meets in the future. They're beautiful and graceful adults that are like children when it comes to their lack of intelligence. They also eat fruits, wear clothes, and represent what the time traveler theorizes the lazy, rich upper classes of the past have evolved into.
Perhaps curiosity has died, perhaps even courtesy has died, but I have come a long way and I would like to know a few things.
Why?
What kind of government rules your world?
We have no government.
Doesn't anybody work?
No.
However, an Eloi named Weena differentiates herself from the pack by showing appreciation and affection for the traveler after he saves her from danger.
Why did you
Why did I what?
come after me?
Sit down.
Weena exhibits all the good and bad characteristics of this future race.
You were safe inside your great house, and yet you came out into the night to warn me. The one characteristic which distinguished man from the animal kingdom was the spirit of self-sacrifice. And you have that quality.
Number 4. Morlocks. The Morlocks are the second species the time traveler meets in 802,701 AD.
Some chose to take refuge in the great caverns and find a new way of life far below the Earth's surface. The rest of us decided to take our chances in the sunlight.
They hunt the Eloi for food and possess traits that are in complete opposition to their prey.
Well, what happens to them? Don't stand there like fatted cattle. Will you answer me?
These hideous-looking nocturnal creatures also live under the earth. Despite all this, they do have some brains and are a laboring folk. The time traveler thus associates them with the previous society's lower classes. Number 3. Values and themes. Wells lived in the 19th century during an era of booming industry. This influenced his political views, which included a belief in change and progress for the less privileged social classes. His ideas on life are thus reflected in his depiction of the Eloi and Morlocks. These two species also raise questions about the concept of community. Other themes explored in the novella include science, time, and technology. Number 2. Modern popularity. First published in 1895, The Time Machine has since captured the imaginations of millions of readers by bringing the idea of time travel to mainstream consciousness. In fact, Wells is credited with creating the name of those vehicles that would be theoretically used to move people between different points in time. Number 1. Adaptations. While it has lent itself to radio, literary sequels, and comic book adaptations, Wells' tale has also been referenced on television and turned into movies. One of its most well-known early film adaptations is George Pal's Oscar-winning 1960 version. Wells' great-grandson, Simon Wells, directed a more recent adaptation in 2002, which modified certain elements and received an Oscar nod for Best Makeup.
Do I surprise you?
A little, yes.
We weren't always like this.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite piece of time machine trivia? Be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com for more informative top 10s.
I wonder. You know, that's the most important question to which I hope to find an answer. Can man control his destiny? Can he change the shape of things to come?